So it felt like an impossible task for me has finally been accomplished. Recently, I grinded my butt off to make it to Legend Glory rank for the first time, and I also picked up Not Forgotten. Now that that's over, I figured I would give my thoughts on the whole experience and some strategies I used/picked up along the way. Let me preface this by saying I'm not a top tier PvP player by any means, and Destiny Tracker can even vouch for that. But I did this entirely on the freelance playlist with a controller on PC, and if I can do it, so can you. Now my first gripe with this was the matchmaking. At multiple points in the journey, I was matched with people drastically outside of my glory rank. There were the occasional matches where both teams had someone under 1000 glory, while the others were mid 3k or greater, and while that's not okay, those aren't the games that I'm talking about. The matches I'm talking about are the ones where I'm up against 4k plus solo players while my team is sub-fabled. I understand that few people like comp, and depending on the time of day, it can be hard to find similar ranked players, but I'd rather wait longer to find similar ranked players than get thrown into a mismatched game. Another gripe I have is heavy ammo. It has no place in comp whatsoever. In the lower ranks, the round was determined by whoever got heavy. As I got higher up, I saw it less often because as far as I can tell, players either forgot or didn't bother because they could slay without it. I wish that a mechanic from D1 would return where, if all the players in a game waved at the start of a match, the heavy would never spawn. Also, if heavy does stay in, why does it spawn so frequently? It doesn't need to be up every round or even multiple times a round for that matter. Now here is where I contradict that last statement by saying my first tip is use the heavy. Yes, use the heavy. Throw on that Lord of Wolves and Controverse hold handheld supernova, that one-shot knife and shoulder charge, have at it. I know I'm going to make some people upset by saying that, but who cares? The game won't award you consolation points because you didn't use the loadout everyone else uses/hates. The only thing the game cares about is whether you won or lost that game. If your goal is to gain as much glory as possible, then use the tools that you can perform best with, and if that means using meta loadouts, then so be it. You'll probably get some hate mail saying you have no skill or whatever, but whoever that person is irrelevant and isn't worth your time. Do I believe these and other weapons/mechanics need to be looked at? Absolutely, but that doesn't mean you should swear off of using these things completely. We've got bigger issues with this game than people not playing how we want them to. Next tip up, learn the maps and where the hotspots are. You know, those long sightlines in Convergence, that upper ledge on Bannerfall, those are the areas where lots of people love to just hard scope, trying to find that one unlucky SOB about to get their head popped off. If you don't know the maps well, definitely do not take the time to do that in competitive. Load up a private match and explore on your own, and or see where people tend to flock to in the regular playlists. Map sense is much more helpful than you might realize. The whole objective of the survival playlist after all is to, survive, and you running to the same spot only to die 1,000 times does nothing to help your team. Unless you're 100% confident in your ability to make it to that spot before the enemy team does, you're best off avoiding these areas altogether. If anything, you can use that to your advantage and try to catch them off guard by being at a spot that they wouldn't expect. Side note, crouch. Use it. It doesn't make you a constant beacon on your enemy's radar, and any level of misdirection you can force is a potential benefit to you. Next up, stay with your teammates. You're more often than not unable to talk to your teammates, but you can still follow them in game. I know, sometimes it feels like you got matched with people that couldn't hit a bullseye from 2 inches away, but having multiple people aiming at a guy is more likely to come out of a gunfight with a win than just a regular 1v1. This also has the potential to save wasted lives, as you adding additional fire to a target might pull them off your buddy long enough for your teammate to get out of danger, and for you or your other teammate to secure the kill. To go off of that, know when to back out of a gunfight. If all 6 of you are mid-fight and both your teammates go down, you just might be better off backing off and regrouping with your teammates. This potentially gives you another life to work with in the next fight, or another life for your teammates to waste, but no judgment. It's perfectly okay to play slower or to play life advantage. Again, the game doesn't care how you play, just whether you win or lose. The last tip I have is to persevere, but also learn when to call it a day. If you're not a Crucible god or even just a strong PvP player, you're probably going to be at this for a while. I want to say it took me about 5 days to a week, and that's with breaks in between. You're going to have games where you'll get utterly destroyed, maybe ones where you destroy the other team, and some games where you do just okay. The hope is that you take away your positives and negatives from each game and find ways to improve on the negatives. Try your best to go into comp with a good mindset. Going into each game expecting to lose will probably net you that result. Comp is certainly the place to go if you're focusing on winning, but it's not the Destiny 2 World Championship Finals that some people make it out to be. The point is, don't take it so seriously. If you're having a couple rough matches back to back, maybe consider taking a break. Hop into some strikes, definitely don't touch Gambit, or watch TV or something, anything that can clear your head and cool you down. Now this isn't the guidebook on how to win every game. Any other YouTuber or myself could tell you everything under the sun we know, but at the end of the day, developing the skills needed to perform better in the Crucible comes down to you. Again, it's probably going to be a tough climb for most, but just stay dedicated to your goal and focus more on improving than on solely winning, and eventually you'll get there. Or you can find someone to carry you or do an account recovery, but hey, that's your choice. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.